We just just won USA Today's best ballpark stadium food in the country for the third year in a row now.
Do you get like a belt to retire? I mean,
I wish. You know, the coolest thing was when I told the guys, I said, you know, we won for a third year, and they all looked around and they're like, that's the definition of a dynasty.
It's a dynasty.
And I'm like, wow. I was like, it is. It's a dynasty.
You started a food dynasty, Jason. Jay Horwitz with another great edition of Amazing Conversation with Executive Chef Jason. I got to start. I have a bone to pick with you.
Yeah.
So 2 weeks ago, the Mets were nice enough to throw me a lunch at some of my 40th year. You did some research on my eating habits. Every food that I liked was on the table. Corn dogs, fries, hot dogs, little veal parm sandwiches, Twinkies.
Yeah.
I would be 912 pounds after that.
Yeah, so it was pretty funny when I told the guys, I said, hey, listen, Jay's got a big event going on. Yeah. You got to blow it out of the water.
We blew it out of the water, man.
I have a chef Chef Tommy, who runs our catering department, and the guy can find anything. And I said, I need to know what Jay likes to eat. Because I asked the girls, I asked everyone in the Mets, and they're like, oh, you know, he likes to eat everything. And I was like, that can't be true. Yeah. There's got to be like some things. And there was an interview 7 years ago.
Great. I mean, I haven't had a corn dog since I was 9.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go to Coney Island, get a corn dog. They can ride the roller coaster.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And it was a great event, and congratulations on your milestones, and hopefully the food lived up.
I confess, I had 2 desserts, 2 corn dogs, 3 veal parm sandwiches, and a boatload of fries. Not good for my diet, Jason.
No, it's all right though. Yeah. A cheat day a week.
Well, I had kind of cheat week. First of all, before we start, congratulations, 30 in a row. Best ballpark food in the country.
Yeah. Yeah. So something that we're really proud about. We just won USA Today's best ballpark stadium food in the country for the third year in a row now.
Do you get like a belt to retire? I mean,
I wish. You know, the coolest thing was when I told the guys, I said, you know, we won for a third year, and they all looked around and they're like, that's the definition of a dynasty.
It's a dynasty.
And I'm like, wow. I was like, it is. It's a dynasty.
You started a food dynasty, Jason.
Yeah.
Well, so let me tell you, we have some items here. Can I just pick one of them? I mean,
yeah. Let me help you out there.
Yeah.
So these are our Zeppoles. So we've got an amazing pastry chef here in the building, and Julie creates some pretty awesome desserts. And this year, one of the
nice.
one of the
can I take a bite out of it?
Yeah, not just one. I hope you take multiple.
Oh, wow. That's good.
So one of the hurdles that we wanted to clear this year was, how do we elevate our dessert program here at the stadium? And
you elevated it.
We did. We work with Walk and Roll, and we developed the cinnamon bun egg roll, and then we've got our fried Oreos and our Zeppoles, and can't go wrong with Mr. Softy around the ballpark. So, you know, we've got hidden gems like the candy store up on the Excelsior level, the 5th floor. So there's little gems hidden all over the ballpark.
When do you start planning ahead? You know, I know you're trying to make it new every. When do you start planning your menu?
Yeah. So in all honesty, we really start thinking about what we're gonna do next year. This year, right at opening day.
Really?
Yeah. As we open the ballpark and we see, you know, not everything that we developed for this year made this year's lineup. So, you know, those automatically start falling to what we're going to do next year. And then we're looking at different trends. And then it'll really start gaining steam by about the All-Star break.
Do you make calls to other stadiums? Do you research the books? How do you pick?
Social media is big, right? I don't really have to call other stadiums to see what they're doing because it's on social media.
Social media, yeah.
So we'll you know, we'll start following or looking and saying, oh,
can I
okay.
lick my fingers?
Yeah. they'll start saying, you know, oh, look at, they're doing this over here and they're doing that. And then you kind of look at what what our food program is. And our food program is something that really resembles what goes on outside of the stadium. When you look at the city, you kind of have this melting pot of everything. And when you come to the stadium, you can have anything from a Ray Buzz to, if you're vegetarian or vegan or gluten-free, we have offerings there. We've got great hot dogs. We've got grilled cheese. So we're kind of all over the board.
Do you walk around the stadium during games to see what people are eating, get a feel for what's going on?
Yeah. And fans, it's hard to miss this white jacket.
You're a hospital caretaker.
Yeah. Fans have no problem stopping you and saying, hey, look, everything's great. And then you're always waiting for the other shoe to drop.
There's no buts?
Yeah, there's always a but. So, you definitely walk the ballpark, listen to what the fans have to say. Mets fans are great. They're going to tell you, everything that's great, but they're also going to let us know how we can improve.
What do you have next here? I'm not going to eat this one.
Next, we have Adam Richman's Pub Burger. So this is a burger that last year we developed an Adam Richman location. A good friend of mine. He's traveled the world and tasted burgers from everywhere, and we kind of centered it around his favorite cities last year. And this year we kind of expanded and went international with it. So this is a burger that features the whole British pub scene. So there's melted leeks on there. There's thick cut bacon. There's a really good pub cheddar cheese spread on there.
Has there ever been a bad burger though, Jason? Seriously,
there hasn't. There hasn't.
But there's a lot of research went into this.
A lot. Yeah. A lot of research.
Tell me again, what's the name of it?
This is Adam Richman's Pub Burger.
Now, this is at a stand around.
So this is located over behind Section 1 in the 104 area of the ballpark.
What makes this distinctive again?
So this is a partnership with Adam. So the distinction is that he is a big traveler.
Right.
He loves British pub food. And he researched it, and kind of working together, he kind of came with the concept, and we came with the knowledge of how do we bring this to 45,000 Mets fans.
So is this one stand selling these burgers?
Yes.
Great.
One stand is selling this burger. He also has what's a Juicy Lucy out there, which is where we actually put the cheese on the inside of the burger.
You're making me hungry again, Jay.
Yeah. So that's it's funny, we were just I believe the Mets were just in Minnesota.
Yeah.
The Juicy Lucy is born in the Twin Cities.
Yeah. Give me another one. What you got there? What else we got there?
Next, we have the turkey sandwich from Pig Beach. So, funny story. I was walking the ballpark probably about a little over a year ago. And this very sweet older lady stopped me on the concourse. And when people walk up to you, you can kind of judge pretty fast, like, oh, This is going to be a fun conversation. Yeah. So I thought this was going to be a fun conversation.
Not really.
I said, how's everything going? And she said, you know what? Everything that you cook is fried.
Oh, sugar.
I can't eat fried food. And I said, hold on a second. We're going to make you a grilled sandwich. And I'm going to work on next year a sandwich that's not fried. So when we looked at that and we looked at how we can, appease guests that aren't maybe into the fried foods, we came up with this. Pig Beach, another partner of ours, does great barbecue. This is their...
So what's in here? Turkey?
Turkey, yeah. So they take turkey breast that we smoke it in-house for about 4 hours. We hit it with a nice vinegar slaw on top.
Wow, it looks great.
A little something called the Alabama white sauce, which is just a little bit of creaminess to cut through that vinegar. And then it's all wrapped up on a potato bun.
And tell me, you said you have a chef specifically for desserts, right?
Yeah.
How many chefs are under your auspices?
So I have Chef Paul, who's my assistant here on the stadium and in the stadium, and we have 8 chef de cuisines around the stadium. Right. So basically, we look at the stadium as a giant resort that specializes in baseball 6 months out of the year, and we have a chef that kind of takes care of each portion of the ballpark. So I have a catering chef. We've got a chef that takes care of all of the suites and VIP clubs and stuff.
How do you get to be a chef? You went to college for that, or?
Yeah. So I grew up in in a large family. My mom had 7 brothers and sisters. So when we used to go to my grandmother's house for holidays, it was like an event of like 100 to 150 people with a big family. And everything always centered around the meal. And Thanksgiving was, everyone came together to give thanks and have great food. And I joke even now, with my wife and with anybody that we meet, is you knew that it was dinner time when you heard my uncle fire up the electric knife.
Really?
You heard that electric knife in the
funny.
house, and you're like, someone's cutting the turkey, someone's cutting the ham.
Yeah.
Okay, we gotta wash our hands, get inside, and get ready for dinner. So that's really where the passion started. And then, I wasn't a stupid guy. I started realizing that, like, hey, the ladies like a guy who can cook.
Do you do all the cooking? You're married, right?
Yeah,
Do you
married
share
now.
cook with your wife, or you do it all?
I do. She's a great cook.
Who's a better cook, you or her?
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't. I value my relationship, but I think we could fill in the blanks. But when you're around food all the time, everyone always says, oh, when you go home, you must cook like gourmet meals and all that. I'm the sandwich king.
Really?
I mean, I'll go home and I'll have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and a glass of milk or a glass of water and be perfectly fine. And it could be the best thing that I've had all day. So it's very much, you're around it all the time. Now, when you want to show off and you want to do that and you want to cook for friends and family, absolutely. It comes easy.
Do you cook Thanksgiving, or she does?
I do. There's certain things that she cooks. She loves her version of stuffing. Nothing wrong with it. It's great. So she'll take care of the stuffing. But when it comes to the other things, I think when you do a lot of large format cooking like that, the hardest part is the time management, right? Someone to cook dinner for themselves every night, it's not that bad. You can do it, you can swing it, but you start adding in like a Thanksgiving dinner for 25, 30 people. There's a lot of time management that's, for someone in the industry, comes a little bit natural.
Taste of Queens, sponsored by Coca-Cola. How many years have you guys done it? And tell the people exactly what it is.
Yeah, so the Taste of Queens, I think we've done it now for, about 3 years. It's something that we were really passionate about, especially coming out of COVID. COVID really destroyed the food scene in the city. Right. A lot of small market restaurants really struggled to get through that. And when we developed it in partnership with Coke, the idea was that we were going to give these local small restaurants a shot, give them a stage where they can show what they do to 45,000 people.
Great idea.
And it's grown from there, right? Right now, part of the sales go to a chosen charity. But a lot of it is just being able to give those restaurants. And, when you tell them and you say, hey, look, we've chosen you guys for this, and the owners of the restaurants start crying and get upset and all of that and are just so gracious for the opportunity, that's when you're really making an impact for them.
Would they have to go there for lengths of time? What do they do? They're allotted a certain amount of time?
Yeah, so what it is when they apply, they send in an application, and then we take about 3 to 4 months to review everything. We look at, storefronts. We look at menus. Does it fit with the ballpark?
Right.
What's the story? And then what we do is we then invite them in and they cook for all of us. So, we have some members of the Mets team there. We have some members of the Airmark team there. And we all sit down and we cook and we talk to them and we eat. Yeah. And then after going through all of that, we then sit down as a group and we say, okay, what not only tells the best story for the Mets, but what tells the best story for the community?
So how many did you add this year? Can I ask you?
Yeah. So this is in 2 locations. So we have the Coke Corner food truck up on the Excelsior level in right field. And then we also have what we call the Taste of Queens, which is on the field level out in Taste of the City out in center field. Each one of those locations will flip their partner once. So around the All-Star break, they'll flip. So four different restaurants got the opportunity to come this year and be a part of the Citi Field program, be a part of the dynasty.
Right, the dynasty.
Yeah, be a part of the dynasty and go from there.
Give me what else you got there. This is...
So here we work with a company called Walk and Roll. The company does egg rolls. And if you're familiar with the egg rolls, last year, the rainbow cookie egg roll was kind of that. Yeah, absolutely. Was that thing that broke the internet. So what we did was we said, okay, how do we take what happened with the rainbow cookie egg roll and how do we expand it? So this is what we call the cinnamon bun egg roll. So it's everything that you love about a cinnamon bun wrapped up in a wonton wrapper and deep fried.
How do you come up with a concoction like that, an egg roll, and it's crazy?
We're crazy. That's the thing. And we don't do this alone. We have great partners that also help out and come with their ideas. Now, the one great thing about Walk and Roll is they came up with a program called City to City. And what that program is bringing some of the visiting team's flavor from back home to Citi Field. So you look, we started the season off against Toronto.
Right.
The big thing in Canada is poutine. Everyone loves poutine, gravy on the fries and the cheese curds. So what we did was we developed an egg roll that was a poutine egg roll. And when we played Toronto, we rolled that out, limited number per game. And fans were able to get that little flavor. If you were a Toronto fan and you said, wow, this is cool. You've got the New York egg roll, what Citi Field's become known for.
Do you do this for the visiting teams too?
We do. So we started out a series today against St. Louis. So we're going to do a fried ravioli. And that's and it'll gain traction from there. And like I said, limited time. So if you're a fan and you want to see what's new at Walk and Roll, you got to get out there.
Do you meet before each homestand, Jason, to go over stuff?
Yeah. So we'll go over daily with the team, what's going on, who we have in house, different things going on, and then what's coming up next. So we'll meet daily. We got to keep that ship steered in the right direction, and we'll all march forward together.
Is that another egg roll there or no?
Yeah. So that's another egg roll.
I don't
another
one.
Yeah. So we do what we also call the Verrazano egg roll, which is like a chicken a la vodka almost, if you will, inside. And then you can't go wrong without another dessert. And what's better than a fried Oreo?
Oh my God, Jason.
So we do something kind of unique. We take 5 Oreos.
Oh boy.
We put them on a skewer. We dip them in batter, and then we deep fry them. And then we top them with powdered sugar.
Now, did they sell to the stand now?
Yeah. So all of these, both the egg roll and the fried Oreo are located out in center field on the field level in our Taste of the City area.
So like David Stern is constantly trying to improve the Mets. And play, you're constantly trying to upgrade your menu, right?
Yes.
You can't sit still.
100%.
You have a dynasty now. You have to.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And everyone always asks me, it's like, oh, well, now that you did this, and it's like, yeah, but the caveat is like, what are we going to do next year? So, now that we have the dynasty, we can't let it stop. I see fans and the fans know about it and they're out there telling me, oh, we got to go for a 4th year.
Do you like bump each other, the chefs, when you have a good creation, like the players after a home run?
Yeah.
Their chest bump somebody?
Yeah. So it's funny. Some of the chefs, when they see each other in the halls, they have their different handshakes they like to do and stuff like that. They really embrace the energy of what the stadium is. It's a really unique opportunity that we have here, and why not embrace it and be part of the team?
Well, listen, you're a fun guy to talk to. It's great food, and I got to thank you. I was really honored when Alex and Steve gave me that nice luncheon, but what you guys did, I said to myself, Okay, I'm not gonna have lunch. As soon as I saw the corn dogs, my eyes lit up.
Yeah.
That brought me back to my childhood. Go up
Yeah.
in Rockaway Beach. But hey, you're a good man. Great job, man. Congratulations on the dynasty. 4 in a row. Is that a four-peat?
We're going for the Four-Peat. That's what we're going to do. That's the goal.
What's the one you have any concoction which then without any secrets? What are you working on for next year? Anything?
I think for next year, what we're working on is really taking, some of those fan favorites that we do now and really putting a twist on them. We started to do that a little bit with a stand that we call from the stretch. It's our play on grilled cheese, where we roll it in a pinwheel and dip it in a tomato soup. So I think, the direction that we're going to do is I want to give fans something that's relatable, but I want to give it to them in a way where they've never had it before.
We gotta give a shout out to Lauren and Tara.
Yep.
Great people.
Awesome.
Big supporters of what you're doing and good friends of mine.
Yeah, they're great. We can't do anything here without those two specifically, and they've been huge supporters of the food program. And as much as I'm the chef, they've got just as much of a hand in this as I do.
You have like a kumbaya meeting every morning.
Yeah.
You're a good man. Thank you for your time, Jason.
Thank
Great
you,
food,
Jay.
man. Thanks, man.
Awesome.